Hello, everybody. Welcome tonight. My name is Groovyouverse, coming to you here with day 4 of the 30 Days of Self-Love Challenge. And I did skip a day, which was day 3 yesterday, but I'm going to talk about a little bit about that now. And first off, I'd like to welcome everybody to this vlog. I'm actually keeping track of this. I'm going to try to keep it daily. And I'm also going to do a little bit of tarot readings tonight too. Not too much, because one of the habits that I've actually have set for myself is to make sure I don't stay up too late and not work too hard as well, because I want to be able to keep this regimen continuing with me being able to actually wake up like really early in the morning so I can get a good day started here. So first thing I actually wanted to talk about was actually I managed to wake up today at 7 a.m., which was actually pretty good. I mean, technically it was 6:45, but officially it was 7 a.m. that I got out of the bed. And I was able to, put on my clothes, go for a nice walk, and actually probably spend a good 30 minutes, maybe 45 minutes walking around the neighborhood and outside the neighborhood. And there was an affirmation that I needed to concentrate with myself, and I'm pulling that up right now. And the affirmation that I kept saying to myself was, I accept all parts of my physical and spiritual self. I am worthy of love and respect. Now, it sounds very, self-explanatory, the way how the affirmation is, but I wanted to try to dissect it and really actually discover inside myself, could this be true? I do love myself. I'm very happy with myself in a way where, there's stability and confidence enough for me to, meet new people, get projects done, and things like that. And obviously, I have my barriers, but still, that confidence is definitely there. One thing, though, I wanted to share with everybody was about the spiritual self part, and that's the one that it's a little bit deeper, and I'll definitely take another time to discuss that. But I wanted to be able to, kind of give some context in terms of what I've gone through. And or at least I was born in a Catholic family, and I, for up till I was 20 years old, 21 maybe, I traditionally went to, midnight mass, or I had to pray with people in order, to fit in. And there was just these moments where I actually didn't feel like I really belonged. I felt like that I'm repeating some steps here that I felt that it's not that I didn't like it. It's just that, why am I doing this? And doesn't really make me an atheist or anything, because I actually respect all religions, but I do identify myself maybe as spiritual. It's kind of tough. I was actually inspired by my friend, Rosanna. I call her Rosetta Stone. And she inspired me in a way where, she'll keep telling me about how she talks to the universe, and she has spirits, ancestors, and it just occurred to me, well, what if I could just, take the things that I really appreciate and then, and love, and then spin my own spirituality. And so I did. And the one thing that really actually kind of spearheaded that moment was also the time when my sister wanted me to become the godfather of her new son, and I would love to have been named the godfather. Now, the problem is that in the Catholic tradition, I would have to be received and accepted as Catholic which means I have to go through confirmation, and I have to take classes and so forth. So I did my research, and I only had maybe a couple weeks to a month to get my confirmation. But when I called up one of the churches, they were telling me like, well, you know, do you go to church? And I said no. And then, she started telling me, do you have faith? I said, well, I believe I have my own faith. Things that I like to believe. I believe that we all should do good. I believe we should be able to love one another despite our differences. And she cut me right off at the point when I didn't get to finish. She's like, no, you don't have any faith. You don't have a faith. And I said, to myself, what makes you the judge of my faith? What gives you that upper authority to say that I have no faith? Because you really don't know anything about me. And so at that point, she started talking to me about the classes. She's like, well, you need to take the classes if you want to get confirmed in order to do the baptism. And I said, okay, fine. Or not the baptism, excuse me, the baptism for my nephew to become godfather. And I said, okay. And she said, well, open enrollment happens soon, and it costs X amount of money, like $150. And I thought, wow, that's a lot. And then she started asking me some more questions in terms of what I believe and stuff like that. And as I kind of explained to her what I did believe, she said, yeah, you really need God in your life. And I'm like, okay. Not like, and she immediately said these things without saying like, well, these are, maybe these are some really nice values, but I think you should, probably pursue Catholicism or something like that. But no, it's straight up out the gate, you need God in your life. And I'm like, okay. And so I had to confirm again with the church that my sister had to go to, and they wouldn't accept me because even if I was about to take the classes, and this was something that, the classes I didn't really feel comfortable about, but I was willing to do it for family. And I love my sister, and I love my nephew and my niece. And, she may see this one day, and hopefully she understands. And it's nothing against her. And she did not anything wrong. But she hasn't done anything wrong. But it just, and I'm looking over here to the side because I'm just keeping an eye on comments here. I'll get to that comment in just a second. But so her church would not accept me, even if I was willing to jump through hoops in order to get my registration and enrollment into these courses to receive confirmation. But, and then that church then denied me as well, seeing that nothing was coming through. And I was like, and again, it dawned on me. I was like, wow, this should be a momentous occasion in a child's life, for one, and also for bonding with the family. It's all about, at least for me, my idea about this, it's all about, loving each other, building connections and things like that. It's not excuse me for saying this, but it's not a fucking job interview that I'm trying to compete for with other candidates. It shouldn't have to be like that. And I explained to my sister, that, if you want me to be godfather, I'll be godfather. But I don't need a piece of paper to tell me that I'm confirmed for something that a church requires in order for me to become godfather. As if I need like some sort of promotion in order to get entitlement of management or something. And she said she wanted to go through tradition, and I respected it at that point. And she had to choose somebody else in the family who was confirmed. But I try to be there as much as I can, and be in their lives. I find that organized religion comes with interpretations that exclude certain people. It is also used for political purposes, and forget that noise. Love is the language of the universe, and that's very true. There was one line, and I'm gonna look for it here real quick. And you have to give me like a split second here, but it's an amazing line. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? I really want to find it. Okay, I'm coming close to it. It's been a while since I can't seem to find it, which is fine. But and I'll bring it up another time. But I'd like to actually move forward here. But now that I've actually kind of helped sculpted, my own beliefs, and my beliefs are not set in stone. As a matter of fact, I was just chatting with a few people, and one person said, "Well, uh, we should all not follow a deity. Even either you believe a deity, like an actual person or the universe." He says that we are our own deities, and that therefore we should be our own God, because you're the only one who could take care of yourself. You're the only one who could actually make things happen. And I found that inspiring. I was like, well, I have to look into this further. So those are the things I actually was thinking about during that affirmation that I said today. And I think that I probably reached this particular goal today, which is actually really good. The fact that I'm willing and open, or willingly to open myself to new interpretations of how my spirituality is going to be molding. How am I going to move forward in life? And I mean, I definitely have tarot, and I usually don't give myself a reading and stuff like that. But another reason why I don't give myself the reading, because me personally, I actually kind of enjoy the mystery of life. I can probably use it for, how my week is going to be, my month is going to be, and other certain questions. Like maybe I'm going to go see somebody and, will I see him again? Maybe. Or is this good? Is this person good? A good match. But other things that, I probably don't give myself readings for, some really deep things. And I keep it in a mystery because I want to be able to learn from my mistakes. I want to be able to learn from my failures. So that was my affirmation during my morning walk, which actually was pretty good. And so I went home, and my usual routine before I actually started doing the 30-day self-love was making some small little protein shakes in the morning. So I have a mix of coconut milk along with like a banana, and it's like 2 cups of coconut milk. And I also have some superfood powders. One is maca powder, chia seeds, hemp hearts, and a vegan protein powder as well. It's like a mix of plant protein. And so I mix these up. And I add also a little bit of agave because it's a natural sweetener, with maybe a very, very small dash of salt. And I'll add some extra ice cubes in it too to help me, to have like a nice, really refreshing, cool taste to it. Blend it all up, and it's actually set me for the day. And the chia seeds are really good for you, like as an antioxidant. Also, it helps clear your digestive system, of impurities, or again like detoxification. There's also maca powder, which is really supposed to be like a stamina type powder with a lot of other benefits too. The other thing also that chia seeds provide is high in fiber, which is really good since I'm a type 2 diabetic. And and then the plant powder is really just to kind of hold my appetite until further down the road during the day. So that's my usual routine for the breakfast. And I'm going to probably switch it up. I have some berries and like frozen berries and things like that in the freezer, but I have to use it sparingly, not fill up the entire cup, because one, not only will it turn into slush, but second, it's a lot of carbohydrates that turns into sugar. So minimum or maximum I'll probably do is like maybe like 1 cup of these frozen berries. I found that eating better food has given me more energy and mental focus. When I sleep, I feel it. I completely 100% agree. I uh, I think it was maybe like a year ago. You know, there was one month where I kind of went back to back on almost fast foods, and then I'll eat something healthy, but then I'll go to like McDonald's with my dad and order food from there, and I would just feel it. I was like, wow, like it really is actually. I mean, it tastes good and everything, but it's really depressing. I as and the depressing part is just like the fact that I was so bloated. I felt heavy. I didn't want to move, and it just kind of helped. And I think this is like a known fact that these foods target our pleasure centers in our brains to help us enjoy this food at that moment. But it doesn't last that long, and therefore we keep going back. It makes it a kind of an addiction. And by after that, you kind of go into this crash, and you just don't want to do anything, and it really is depressing. And I mean, the only time I'll actually probably go to a fast food right now, especially my diet right now, because I'm trying to change my life, is if there's really nothing available, then I'll go to a fast food place. But I'll definitely make the attempt and effort to find something healthy. So yeah, that's a really good point. And so moving forward, I actually started doing some of my exercises. Now, yesterday what I managed to get was maybe one pair of dumbbells because they're really expensive. The dumbbells, it was like 25-pound dumbbells, which is probably a little more heavier than what I wanted. But that's I really actually kind of want to bulk up my arms and as well as my chest. But it was like almost $140 for the two weights, and I was like, wow, and they were brand new, and they're really great quality. So I picked those up, and yesterday I didn't really get to do much. I was actually kind of working, catching up, things like that. And today, that's when I actually started doing some exercises during my lunch. Now, my lunch, I was making some roasted broccoli with salt, pepper, garlic, a little bit of olive oil, and a turkey avocado sandwich. And while I was waiting for the broccoli to roast, it was like 20 minutes. I was actually using that time to exercise, to try out some things, to see what I can start with. And so I have a reverse. I have a teeter, which is like a reverse incline back stretcher, and I used that to not only stretch out my back and my muscles, but I actually started doing some reverse sit-ups with that. And I did 3 reps of 12 sit-ups, and then it was definitely very challenging, but I really pushed it. I definitely felt starting feeling the pain come through, but I didn't want to push too hard to where I'm going to hurt myself, because I can only stay upside down for so long, and I have to always keep going back and forth. That way, I don't have a huge head rush. And after that, I did squats again. It was like 3 reps of I believe it was 10 or 11. Actually, excuse me, 12. It was 12 squats in 3 reps. And then I did some calf exercises where I stand on my toes and come back down slowly. And again, 3 reps of 12. And I was able to do those. And right about at the time, I was able to, the food was ready and I ate my food. And the interesting thing is that I actually had to go to the store today to get a few things. And as I was walking around, I was really feeling like my legs kind of heating up, and I couldn't stop moving, which was really cool. Because the squats, I really tried to get into that parallel with the floor and then come up really slowly and really feel the burn that way instead of just going up down, because it really actually does make a difference. You want to feel the burn and the stretch as you're building that muscle. So I was walking around like crazy, and then I started to sweat. When it's probably the most likely because case I'm out of shape, or maybe it's because my body was just like in this workout mode and had me start sweating, and it could just be very well both. But it felt good, and I want to continue it. And so tomorrow I'm going to be doing some upper body workout, and I'm gonna transition between the two, my lower body and upper body and whatnot. That way, I'm not going to be tiring myself out each day to where I won't be able to do anything. So, later on, the day after lunch, as soon as we came back from the store, it was probably like maybe close to 5 or 6 p.m. I've overdone squats and lunges and could barely walk the next day. Important to take it slowly. Yeah, definitely. And the thing is, what I've learned back in 2000, that's when I actually got into weight training. And I was actually getting a really decent shape. You actually see some pictures on Facebook where I was actually wearing some slim clothes. And I was remembering a lot of the stuff that the weight trainers actually told me about, where they talked about how I need to not just focus on cardio, because even though you do cardio doesn't mean you're going to lose all that weight. And as a matter of fact, just doing nothing but cardio is not really good for you. So you want to build up some lean muscle mass and then bulk up. And so that's kind of what I'm doing right now, which is really good that I've thought about that. And so, but yeah, I don't want to overdo it, but I definitely want to feel that burn, obviously. And so, with that said, it was like 6 p.m. and I decided to go ahead and take some measurements of my body. And so I want to share that all with you today. And it is going to be a little bit embarrassing for me, I suppose, but not embarrassing, but I actually made a table in my notes, and I'm going to do these measurements each week. And I know that these measurements are not going to change rapidly like that, but at least in the report, I can see the progress in the long run, like after the month has been completed. So on my left bicep, and actually another funny story too, because I actually had to use twine because I don't have the regular tape measure. I just have like the metal tape measure. So I just took some twine, tied a knot in it, so I knew how far the extension goes. And that's how I actually managed to do my body measurements. So to share this with you, my left bicep and my right bicep, they're both at 14 inches. That's just relaxed. I didn't do a flex, but in case you're wondering, when with me flexing, I gained like another inch and a half. It's not much, but you can actually kind of see the mountain, and I was actually kind of surprised. I was like, yay. It's nice to have some big arms. Let's see here. The left forearm, which I measured the biggest area, which is here. Both of my forearms were 12 inches. Then I measured my chest, where I have to have the tape go underneath my armpits, and that was 47.5 inches. My hips, where I actually had to go around the buttocks and around the legs, that measured to 44 inches. My neck was 17.5. Shoulders were 53. My right thigh and my left thigh were both about 25 inches. The right calf and the left calf were both 18 inches, and my waist is 46.5. That's a lot. But the reason why it's also important for me to do these measurements, because I could use a scale, but the problem is, as I lose weight, I'm going to gain muscle mass, and therefore the scale is not going to matter at this point. However, though, I did buy a scale anyway because I didn't have one in the house, and it was actually a smart scale that synchronizes with my phone, which is super cool. It's $30. I'll post it in the as a link in the section below, in case you're wondering what it is. But to show you what the box looks like, it is the ZoTouch Wireless Smart scale. Now, this one, it's pretty cool. Nothing very fancy on it, but it is Bluetooth connected to your phone, and they have these 4 metal pads that you'll have to take your socks off in order for it to send these signals through your body. And I remember the name of it, but it's just kind of escaping my mind right now. But the signals get sent through your body, where it actually detects like how much water is in your body fat, muscle mass, as well as your and calculates everything to an estimated BMI, which is pretty cool. And I'll show you my results right now. Let's see here. So this is the zoom in here. There we go. So this is what I actually picked up on the scale, and I weigh 250. Now the actual weight that I had before this one was 243, and I was at a doctor's appointment, and they measured me, and that was back in like mid-February. So I gained 7 pounds, and I actually know why, because I've been going through this really depressing, well, not depressing, just stressful few months. But yeah, so 250 pounds right now, which is actually not bad, because the previous year I actually went to a water park, and there was a water slide that drops you, but you had to sit on this panel or stand on this panel, but they made you get measured by weight to make sure that you don't ruin the machine. So I was like, oh man, this is going to be embarrassing. They're going to like tell me I'm too heavy, and they said, oh, you can go, but my weight was like 265. So taking that and then putting it towards this, I've lost 14 pounds, which is actually pretty good. And that's not doing any type of exercises. But I lately I've been helping out my mother, and at the time my partner. I had to carry we have Alhambra deliver water, so I always had to I did a lot of the physical work around the house at the time. So I can understand that's probably where my cardiovascular was coming into play to help me lose weight, and also with my arm. So if you're really curious, so this is my arm, and that's, oh, can't even see it. So this is just in regular, but I actually got a little bit of a hump there, and a little bit of definition. But I definitely want to work on that. I like arms, I like chests, and I definitely want to have my stomach go down. So that's a definitely good motivator, and also to feel good, because I definitely want to go traveling. I want to feel good when I travel. But anyway, so yeah, looking at this, my BMI is 35.2, which obviously says it exceeds it. So I'm definitely in the red zone, in the danger zone. The danger zone. So, yeah, this technology is pretty cool. I initially, when I bought this, I thought it was just like hogwash, the whole BMI thing. But I thought, hey, you know what? It can send the results to my phone and do some other things, maybe, and I can track it. But it actually kind of, it really actually kind of was really fun to see how I was able to calculate all these numbers. So, yeah, so this is actually a really cool app. It actually synchronizes with Google Fit. The one thing I do need to get is a pedometer, because I want to be able to track that exercise, like how much I walk. And even though I'm walking in the morning, eventually I'm going to transition, at least my goal within the next couple of weeks, to transition into jogging, and and therefore increase my distance in jogging. That way I can get my daily cardio out of the way as I go do my weight training. So yeah, that's a little fun piece of technology. I actually really thought it was really pretty cool to add to my to my overall experience. And so with that said, tomorrow is going to be another day. I'm going to do another video log on my progress, as well as my new affirmation, which I actually have one right here, which is, I'm proud of myself and all that I have accomplished. That's going to be a pretty big one for me to marinate on. Oh, and there's one other thing, actually, as I'm talking about affirmations. So I'm really trying hard to get back into meditation. I actually kind of fell off the bike on that one. And what I'm doing, I actually have the meditation area right where my workout area is. And I'll use about 15 minutes by time. And I used to be really good about the meditation. I used to be able to be focused into looking at a blank area within my mind and just kind of focus to see what kind of images come to me, or whatever comes to me, provided by either spirit guides or whatever. But I also pull a tarot card from my Thoth deck, and today was a reverse moon card, which the moon usually kind of talks about, how crustaceans coming out of the water and onto land. You have two wolves howling at the moon, and usually, that's a sign of like you transitioning from your spiritual, or not just spiritual, but your thoughts and emotions, fantasies perhaps, into the real world. However, though, coming to the real world, there can be some conflicts. Hence, the two dogs. Like, well, you have a wolf, like a wild wolf, and a domesticated looking dog howling at the moon, and the moon has a lot of symbolisms. One of them is definitely like, our spirituality and what we revolve around, stuff like that. However, with it being reverse, my senses, or at least what I believe, was about how I was being maybe confused, and not being able to separate both my fantasy and reality. And I'll have to admit, because before I started getting to the 30-day self-love, I was definitely, in my imagination throughout the day and night, just wondering myself, well, what if I actually had a good body? What if I did this? What if I did this? And I'll start, daydreaming what it'd be like and what my life would be and who I'm going to meet. And I even think about some negative things too, like things that forces me to cry. And the reason why I would do something like that, because I feel that if I felt the emotion now, it would actually help me be a little bit more, not prepared, but understandable of when that emotion happens to occur to me. And I'll be be able to actually, I guess you can call it preparation, I'll be able to actually act upon it with a cool mind. So it is rough, and that's sometimes when I go on YouTube, I'll look at people acting crazy, things like that, or accidents, because I never seen them before in my life, honestly. But it makes me curious on what does happen in the world, and but the more I see this, the more I understand it, and I can empathize with these people who are in these situations a lot easier than being scared for them, and then saying, oh, thoughts and prayers and everything, when I can actually do something about it. So that's where I kind of understood, why I could be, mixing the my fantasy with reality, and I need to really concentrate on that. And another level of it is because I actually, I'm gonna say right now, I actually have been diagnosed with ADD, and I have to take care of that, and I have totally neglected that for a long while until recently. And so I really have to make sure that I keep my mental health in check, because I definitely went through a lot of shit this entire year. As a matter of fact, like a lot of, like, for many years, I've endured a lot of shit, and I'm not saying I'm innocent in this entire thing, and I'll reveal this one day, but it has been a really, really rough battle, and I really have to keep my mental health in check, and that's exactly what I need to do. And that card also reminded me of that. So I managed to practice meditation for 15 minutes, and I'll be able to continue that each day. So that is my day 4 log of the 30 days of self-love. And so tomorrow I have my affirmation I have to think about. I'm proud of myself and all that I've accomplished, and I'm going to kind of jot down some things in terms of what I need to do in order to keep myself focused and manage my time a lot better. That way I can get a lot more things done and continue with my exercises. That way I can start slimming down and start feeling better, because hopefully after this COVID business is done and they start opening up the public and everything, I want to be ready for that. I mean, 3 weeks or 4 weeks, 3 or 4 weeks within a month is a short period of time, but a lot can happen if I stay on this regimen. And as far as my diet goes, so far it's been pretty straightforward. I do change it up, but it's usually a pretty healthy, hearty salad, like a chicken salad, in the evening, mixed with some maybe soups, or I'll have a sandwich with it, or Brussels sprouts. Like cooked Brussels sprouts in the morning is kind of pretty typical, which is the shake. But I might do like a maybe an egg and bacon breakfast to give me the protein that I need, because as I start doing my workouts, I'm going to need that protein to, to feed my muscle mass, as it's going to start drawing more energy. So, me too. Last 2 years, a lot of depression, anxiety, hard circumstances. Mental health is a huge priority when it's sink or swim time. Yeah, diet definitely helps with that. And, especially when it comes to mental health, it's a huge, just as much as, like Norco's epidemic, and we have COVID. I mean, mental health is definitely an epidemic that this really big, hugely ignored. And, I've faced it firsthand, with people that I know and loved. And it just makes it harder on them, not just themselves, but also the people around them that care for them, so. But yeah, that's my day 4 logging. So I'm going to stay on just a little bit longer, and I'll be more than happy to answer any quick tarot questions. I'm kind of mostly just doing some yes and no's with some clarifiers. And if anybody wants like a full reading, for now I'm just going to do a $5 donation requirement. That way, the time doesn't get soaked up too much. And if somebody really needs a tarot reading, then I could definitely help them out. So, Funketeer, if you have a question for me, I'd be more than happy to help you out. And as I wait, just to kind of keep talking here, so I guess tomorrow I'm going to be focusing on my upper body strength. I'm going to do some more crunches, but I don't want to do too much crunches because I don't want my belly to be like, and then get into pain. But I'm going to do some biceps, triceps, and my pectorals as well. Unfortunately, I don't have a bench, so I'm gonna have to try to figure that out. And I'm looking around for a used bench, and everybody's selling them for like $300, which is absolutely crazy. And Walmart actually had one, but which is $70, but the entire workout section has been picked bone dry. Everybody wants to get into fitness, so especially during this COVID business, so. I also want to be able to get back into photography. I actually kind of stopped it a little bit because of the business I've been kind of going through. Um, and here's my really cool camera. It's actually a very basic D3400. I do want to upgrade this camera that actually has the built-in Wi-Fi and everything, but I don't really need that right now. But it's actually a really cool camera. I use it to do my light painting, which you can see at my Instagram. Same name, Groovyouverse. And let me go ahead and get these cards ready here. And while I do that, I'm going to put this stream on pause real quick, and reset my camera. That way you can see the cards, okay? So just give me 5 minutes and I shall return. I'm still here. All right. All right. So, Funketeer, if you don't mind sharing your name and your sign with me, that way I can answer that question. So, I was widowed 2 years ago, 2.5. Just met a new guy. Well, I've known him, but he just started showing interest. He's a lot younger, and I don't know his intentions. Could it work out? Do you happen to know this person's sign and his name as well? Debbie. Debbie. Cool. Debbie Pisces. And if you happen to know the guy's name, and his sign as well, that'd be helpful. Okay, cool. So, question is, could this work out for Debbie, Miss Pisces, and Scott? He's born in April. Okay. Let's see here. That's between an Aries and a Taurus. So, let's flip a coin. We'll call him a Taurus. He'll be a bull. Oh, then that most likely would be an Aries. Yeah, it's cutting right into my fingers. I don't know why. Hurts. Alright, so will this work out for Miss Pisces and Mr. Aries? Well, I have two evens and an odd here, and that's it's kind of pointing towards a I mean, it's saying maybe yes about this. However, though, I'm getting a sense here. I'm getting a sense here that he's more confident than you are. I feel that he's a kind of a go-getter, and you're kind of like sort of like being a realist in this situation. Like you're kind of weighing in certain things about this person. You mentioned that he was young, but there's other things like, will he be, stable? Will he provide for me, or in terms of my needs, and um, and I don't know. There's almost like maybe a small sense of guilt and betrayal, I suppose. I mean, I see you wanting to, you met a new person, which is great, but maybe some a little bit of guilt of meeting this person, which is also probably making this a little bit, I wouldn't say hard, but just more as not really clear for you. And you're more than welcome to stop me if I'm wrong here, and let me know if the image is fuzzy or not. It should be clear right now, but yeah. Um, I do see here that he's almost kind of making it very easy for you. I think, like as if like it's kind of like moving really fast for some reason. Uh, the way how he talks to you, and it's almost as if like he probably kind of thinks that you guys are exclusive in a way. But I mean, not that he thinks that, but he's kind of acting as if you're almost exclusive, and and like just, and when I say exclusive, like he's just really showing that connection. Like he really, really wants to be close to you. That kind of exclusivity kind of thing. Um, um, kind of want the sex. I don't know if that's all I want. Uh, I don't want it to be all he wants. So that's interesting that you said that, because I have here the Two of Cups, right? And I even have the Emperor here in reverse. Now, um, your thoughts are correct in terms of how you feel that you're heading on the right track here in terms of protecting yourself. I feel that um, that he does have physical attraction for you, but I think it kind of goes beyond that a little bit. I will go ahead and let him in. uh, I feel that you should let him in just a little bit. Give him the taste of the cookie. Not the entire thing, just a little taste. Maybe have him taste one of the morsels. That falls off the cookie. um, but when you do that, though, as I'm talking about that, you know, and see right here, the Four of Pentacles. There's not. He's not going to be too clingy or anything like that. I think it's going to be somewhat of a smooth ride. We have the Chariot here with this Four of Pentacles, and so this kind of tells me that it's actually going to be kind of a smooth approach. Um, and there's also this right here where he's going to really kind of like let himself go in order to kind of help you see his image, his body language, his vulnerabilities and whatnot, and he's willing to actually kind of share these things with you. I feel that he's kind of a talkative person, at least with you. Everywhere else, he kind of turns into like this different persona a little bit, but with you, it almost turns into like this man that that really kind of caters to what you want, and I feel that you know it is plucking some heartstrings, and you're just like, oh, too good to be true, perhaps. But then again, that guilt is coming through too. I'm feeling again sense of guilt, and again, if I'm wrong about that whole guilt thing, let me know. I'll be more than happy to correct that on my part. But I feel that he's not really very very showy offy, so it's not like he's gonna parade you as a trophy. And let's see here. Plucking the G strings. But I'm seeing here with the Four of Cups, just be prepared and just be aware that he is going to be connecting with you. Don't don't make it to where you are only receiving that benefit. He needs to receive it back. He's the type of person that likes to give and receive. Okay, but he's not gonna like wear his heart on his sleeve and push everything out um, in order to uh, you know get through to your heart. Hi, Queen Mage. Yeah, I actually am doing a free reading right now. They're kind of very basic, but if you want something really in depth, I do receive a $5 donation on that. But I do very very small general readings here. I'm not worried about being hurt, but might ruin our friendship. Well, that's still the same case though. Like, you know, uh, it's not about being hurt, but again, losing that connection. So I would just kind of open up a little bit. Like I said, give him the morsel of the cookie. He can have a small little bite, just a little nibble, not the entire thing. Because the whole cookie is, is like, with a glass of milk. No, you want to kind of just give him, a little bit of the little, the chocolate morsels that kind of fall off the cookie at the bottom of the bag. Have him taste that for a little bit. So, but yeah, so I would say, kind of pursue it. I don't see anything wrong with it. Um, and also talk your feelings as well. Tell him how you feel. That I think it's great that I'm flattered that you want to, that you're thinking I'm like I don't know what the word to say here, but I appreciate the fact that you're interested in me, but I just want to make sure that you know that if anything happens, we don't lose our friendship. That you're scared to lose your friendship. Just talk. And that's the beauty part of relationships, talking. Not just fearing. I mean, you're obviously going to have fears, but we have to talk about our fears to our partners. Okay, Queen Mage. So, uh, by the way, Debbie, I really hope that helped out and vibrated with you. And Queen Mage, so why don't you go ahead and give me your name, your sign, as well as your question. Yeah, if it's, I mean, I had that, what's called the King of Swords earlier, and um, that can explain why you're really thinking about that a lot. All right, Queen, what say you? And question. I need the question. Charmaine, Cancer. Okay, well, I understand you want the general reading, but now I need the question. So, Charmaine, please give me your question, and then we can continue. Okay. Oh, you want? Oh, I'm so sorry. I misunderstood what you're asking, Queen. You wanted a general reading, not a question. Okay. Oh, I see it now. Will I be returning to my current job and workplace after furlough quarantine is over? Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. Um, oh, I see that you just retracted the question. So you just want the general reading. I thought you were saying, okay, just general reading, please, as in the category or something like that. But I just had a total airhead moment here. I apologize. All right. So, Charmaine, Cancer. All right. Quite a bit of reversals here. So, I'm seeing kind of. So I see like maybe uh, what should be happening here for you. I do see some type of opportunity coming to you. We have all these pentacles here on this first part, and I see that you won't be getting the job that you're looking for, because I know that's one of the things that you're thinking about. But um, I feel that um, you will get into some line of work, and and, and it's gonna be enough to for you where you're gonna take it. Because I think you're just kind of like I really just want to get anything at this point. And give me a sign if she should take this job. Oh, we got the Queen of Swords in reverse. Signs probably telling me. Let's see here. So signs kind of pointing to no about this one, but it really actually, of course, it's up to you. You just need to make sure that you fully understand what you're getting into. And then looking at these cards that I just pulled right now, um, I feel that it might be kind of a pigeonhole um, position. Like there's no growth. Um, so yeah, just when you see this job coming through, make sure you fully understand it. I think what these cards were kind of telling me here is that you might kind of skim through what it is, and you might kind of start. You actually might start. What's call it? Convincing yourself that this is what I want, right? When you really don't want to do that, you want to be happy. So keep that in mind. I do see here also. I see here that you kind of dropped a few habits that you used to be doing before the COVID. Um, and they're actually kind of like home habits, as a matter of fact, too. But I see that you dropped. Oh, that was loud. Yeah, I see here that it's almost as if like it was like a routine that you used to like to do, um, like going out or something, or just getting out and just being outside. Obviously, we can't do that now, but even with you around your surroundings, you still try to make that opportunity happen to where you can actually get that, the time outside. But I feel that it's kind of making you bitter. I feel that you've kind of got a little bit testy as well. And correct me if I'm wrong, by all means. If I'm completely off here, please let me know. It's okay. Um, I think that somebody might be is trying to give you kind of like, some encouraging spirit here. However, though, with you maybe being bitter, it might have kind of pinched a nerve there a little bit. So just kind of just be a little more empathetic in terms of who you talk to. And maybe it's because of the fact that whatever this habit is, like this thing that really made you happy, which is, to me, it's about, just being outside most of the time. Um, um, Try to go a little bit easier on who you may be talking to, because it's more like the body language, I think, that you're giving off, and not really the things that you say. Like, you try to be nice when you talk, but I think it's just more like the body language that I'm getting here, that could be communicating completely something else to other people. Um, and I'm looking at this right here, and I'm not exactly sure if you're in a relationship or not, but I'm not seeing much romance happening here. If you are in a relationship, I feel that romance is kind of like on hold. Um, or at least it will be starting coming on hold pretty soon. I think there's a lot of stress there. But if you're not in a relationship and you're looking for love, I don't see much of that happening right now either. So right now, this communicates to me romance, and right now is not the time for that. And even if you're with somebody, I feel that, if you are with somebody, you might be in two different places, but I don't really see that romance really happening right now. It's kind of on a standstill. And you kind of like that, as a matter of fact. You kind of want that. Um, it's not like you want it to happen, but you kind of like a little bit of of just being by yourself a little bit. I'm seeing here. Um, it's almost as if like it was like a vacation for your mind. I feel that you might have been picking up some meditation a little bit more, perhaps. Um, but I think you need to. I think you need to rearrange um, your house or your room a little bit. I feel that the energy is stagnant in your place, and I think it's also feeling extremely stagnant. Um, I'm hearing the living room, um, and I know you probably can't do too much about the living room, but like just moving furniture around and things like that. That's kind of what I'm talking about. Introduce a new change, maybe hang up a new picture or something like that. I just feel that that it's a common area and it needs to be livened up a little bit. Um, Probably sage it a little bit. Do some sage, um, Palo Santo, incense. But rearranging the furniture, I think, if you can do that, or if you can't do that, hang up some new pictures like that, move them around. Um, uh, Introduce a new setting to where you can feel um, a new change. And this will also help with this. Um, your body language, you being closed off from the world. So these two kind of work together here. And as far as this goes, like I said, just make sure you read between the lines in terms of what you're going for. Don't just jump on the opportunity just thinking like, oh, I'm gonna just get my foot in the door, and I'll be okay at that point. Like, no, you don't want to do that. You really want to make sure that you read between the lines and just be patient about it. I feel that you're doing okay right now, but you can really use, obviously you just want to get the job, obviously, to get some more money, because we like money. you know but so yeah, that's your general reading for now. If you have any more questions about that, email me, tarot@groovedefied.com, and I'm more than happy to answer any other questions for you. And I hope that resonated with you as well. All right, so I think I'm not sure if anybody else is here right now, but I'm going to go ahead and conclude that. It's already been an hour. I did my video log of my 30 days of self-love. I actually am tracking this at the groovymermaids.com. I'm going to go ahead and put that into the description here. As a matter of fact, it's already in there right now. So I have the groovymermaids.com, which is a collaboration with Indigo Mermaid TV. She has the other channel. So if I'm not here and she's doing her live stream, by all means, go ahead and head onto her site. She does have services as well, to where she'll dedicate a whole hour to where you can ask question after question after question. So that's your definite benefit with that. With that said, I'd like to thank you all for joining me today and sharing this experience. I really actually feel good. I'm actually might take some before and after shots tonight, perhaps, before I start getting too much in depth into this, where I want to be able to kind of, track my image as well. So, namaste, everybody. Thank you for coming, and you all have a great night, and I will most likely talk to you tomorrow.